What you're looking at are 13 different individual video games, each created as part of a 48-hour game jam designed to test the limits of the creators, pushing their creativity and their coding skills as they attempted to make a game all within the same three-dimensional confines as the rest of their competitors. That's right, not outside the box, inside. Hi, I'm Woody and I make content about Unreal Engine inside Unreal Engine. So normally game jams have themes. It'll be a string of words or a funny little sentence, or they'll just want you to maintain a specific idea in your game. But what if we didn't do it that way? What if instead of a theme, we had a box? It's a box with a fixed camera. You're not allowed to move it, you're not allowed to move the box. That could be a whole game jam by itself. I was really inspired by a lot of the render challenges I saw from Punisher's community. I love how these renders look the same when they match cut. And I thought, wait, actually, we could totally do this with a game jam. So I reached out to a bunch of other developers I know. At first, this was sort of a small thing, but at the last second, I threw it out, made an announcement to my community, and tweeted about it, and suddenly, a few other people joined on as well. So, while most people know me for my work in Unreal, I wanted to keep things interesting and make this more inclusive. So I included an Unreal and a Unity starter pack for developers who want to work in the other engine. Also, this jam needed a winner. The judges for this game are none other than Kyle of the Mega Mocap System and the Mega Steakman YouTube channel, and Sapphire, who's a creator for HTC. Both of them are veterans of the gaming community and have spent a lot of time around jam circles. I removed my own game from the judging, so if anyone's wondering here, I'm not really in it to win it. That's not really my vibe. After playing each of the games on stream, I asked the developers to just talk briefly with me about their entries, as a way to show off their hard work, and they did not disappoint. Toasty Toad by Pixelfire is a platforming game where you jump back and forth with a little frog guy to try and keep yourself from dying. A lot of the games ended up having a lava component, but they each handled it in a slightly different way.
My name is Pixelfire, and I made the game called Toasty Toad, and the concept is that you are a frog and you have to survive an onslaught of lava from the nearby volcano, and you have to jump from rock to rock. I think ultimately I'm just most proud of finishing. I think that's what I love most about this game jam, is that it forces you into a deadline and it forces you to finish it regardless of it being perfect. So many projects go unfinished or go unstarted because you don't know when you'll have time to finish it. So that's what I liked most about this.
BoxJam, appropriately named, is a single-stick shooter bullet hell where you jump out of the way of all sorts of enemies and dodge their fire. The game is submitted by Nullterm, which is developer Blaine and his son Colin, who made the game together.
So BoxJam is basically, how would you describe it?
We started off with a box, and as you play, waves of simpler enemies spawn in, and then you just have to kill as many as possible. You can fire it up and you can just start dodging enemies, and you want to keep going, and when you die, I just want to keep playing it. To me, that's the most rewarding. Because it's just such a simple game to play that you can just sit down and play it for an hour without really putting your brain into it. Was it rewarding seeing your art pop up into something for the first time? Definitely. Yeah. This is my first game jam doing something with my son Colin here, and I think we just had so much fun doing it together.
Shield Surfer is a game by Dwight. Dwight is my little brother, and much to my chagrin, this game is awesome. You got a little skeleton man, and instead of being in the box, you're sitting on top of the box, and you're jumping back and forth to avoid different elements that come into the frame.
And Shield Surfer is essentially an infinite runner on a repeating track with level building elements where, as the game gets faster, you are tasked with adding new obstacles and making your track more and more complicated. I am always proud when I finish a game. I've been in enough jams to know how hard it is to actually have something playable at the end of a jam. What I feel even more proud of was that I was able to create something that feels fun to me. It's hard to make games that are fun. So I feel proud that I made a game that I enjoyed playing, and I think some others enjoyed playing it too.
Sisyphus by Shuttershade and Mossflower is a game where you jump from object to object to keep yourself from drowning in lava. This was my favorite of the control systems for the lava games. You can also drop a little box and jump onto it if you don't have an obvious solution, and you can use it as a bridge to get from one object to the next.
So it's called Sisyphus because this goat is kind of cursed in some way to stay in this pit until they can successfully jump their way out, which obviously never happens, a la Sisyphus. But yeah, no, it's just there's this god watching over this goat, and that's why there's this big booming voice whenever you lose, just shitting on you for losing. Well, gamer, you've done it again.
This voice sounds really familiar, Shutter.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
And then there's Help from Good Guy Stebbs, aka Good Guy Ghastly. And this is a game where you try to keep kittens from dying of being on fire. And I struggled with this one. Why would you do this to me?
I would describe it as early Tears of the Kingdom. That's what I think it is. You know, what happens when you put physics and kittens together, right?
Yeah, I get, you might, yeah, I guess. I'm not gonna lie to you, Good Guy, this game made me a little sad.
Yeah, I wanted there to be a happy ending. I just didn't have time. and then I also like got kind of distracted with, I thought it'd be funny if I had an array of like cat names that I just made up.
Those were so funny.
And like as a cat died, it would just give a random name to it and just say goodbye. Like
that made me laugh. Arrows in the Dark is a game where you click on screen to be able to kill enemies that are advancing towards your base. You have these zombie orcs that are advancing towards these spherical hearts, and you want to shoot them down before you get there. Pushover is a game where you have to deliver little people out of the dangers of the fiery box of lava by dropping little bounce pads. Once you've gotten a character out, you have to place another bounce pad, and you need to keep adding them until you can see how many you can place in the box. How would you describe it in your own words?
I think it would be like a puzzle. You know, it's like 3D pool kinda. You know, normally in a pool you have the whatever the stick is called, the cube, and you push things on a plane. Why not make it in 3D? I think that probably describes the best.
I made a game too. This is Swiper Claw. I was in a weird zone for this. It's a skill crane game where you select monsters from a bin. The goal is to select better monsters than the computer will select afterwards, and then watch all the creatures fight in an auto battler that works heavily off of a star system as well as elemental strengths and weaknesses. And it's pretty weird, and the physics they're something. I spent most of my time making the physics work. It was really tricky, especially to make the arm. There's a lot of little things you have to do to make physics work really well in Unreal. I never really written an element system before, and I'm a sucker for Pokemon games. I think the thing I'm most proud of is that I actually made a soundtrack for this game. You can hear it playing behind me right now. It sounds really cute and clean, and it's kind of exactly what this game needed. The game's pretty goofy, but it surprisingly lasts for a long time, and there's a lot of content in there. For a lot of folks, this is either their first game jam, or they submitted a project where they were just wanting to try out something new.
Hi, I'm Keith Satova. This is not technically my first jam. I've never worked in Unity, except for uploading VR chat avatars, and I was gonna make it like a Simon Says thing, because just put the slimes together.
Cool.
And my game was literally just slime observation.
My name is Fruitsy, and my game is Pub Potions. Well, I didn't completely finish it, but when it is finished, because I want to work on it later, it's basically going to be like Overcooked, but with cute like JRPG slimes and like a cozy little village bartending thing.
Hi, I'm Happy Backham. My game was going to be a bullet hell shooter, for those who are familiar with the Total projects and much like that, where essentially you have an enemy that is shooting endless bullets while you shoot back.
My name is Wolfjax. My game name is Food Defend. You have like a little small guy defending against little Jeremy guys with a shotgun.
My name is Gabblejack, and I made one of those fishing mini games. So I wanted to make like this little tool head that you actually do see in the game, that you have to like find where the fish is and just grab it if you're close enough.
Who was this like their first game jam?
That was
Me.
That's cool. What did you guys think?
I think I'm exhausted. That's what I think.
It was my first game jam, but I have done hackathons before. And okay. I know that when you have like very limited time, you want to spend that time as effectively as possible, and you do not really want to spend that time into like R&D or debugging.
As soon as I had my idea, it just fell into place. So I knew exactly what I wanted to do next after I started doing the level design. Overall, I had great time. It was just like fantastic. I was like, wow, this is cool. This is fun. Like being able to just show people like, look, I made this thing turn into something else.
Did any of you guys have any big challenges or any significant changes you run into in the process of doing your thing?
My textures were all scrambled and pixelated, and I didn't know what was going on. Even the blueprint was all corrupted and weird, and I'm like,
oh, that's right. Kisa, you were using Unity for the first time. How did that go?
There are so many things and my brain shuts down. So getting over that hurdle is always troubling for me. This is why I prefer not to code, but to design and to draw.
After a lengthy judge deliberation that happened privately in DMs with me on Discord, we came to the winners. In third place, we have Toasty Toad by Pixelfire. In second, we have Sisyphus by Mossflower and Shuttershade. And in first place. So our judges, Kyle and Sapphire, deliberated and they returned the results that, again, this makes me furious, but you won.
Oh, I did?
Yeah.
Whoa! Why are you furious?
Because it comes at the expense of all my internet credibility.
I am sorry. But that's cool. I'm happy. I was not expecting that.
Yeah, okay. So I was going to ask you, since you won and since you're my little brother, because I'm not trying to do Nepo baby stuff. What was your favorite game that you played?
Sisyphus seems like the game that I would probably end up spending an hour playing on accident while I'm procrastinating something, which is high praise in my opinion.
I'm sorry to everyone. I'm sorry Dwight's game was good.
I would consider myself a professional game designer at this point. That is what I'm doing full time.
That's true. It's true. You have quite the resume there. All right. I'm cutting this record.